For the first time, the NFL is cracking down on so-called bounty programs where players are paid to use excessive violence against their opponents. An NFL report says team management for the New Orleans Saints would pay players up to $1,500 for hits that could injure or knock out their rivals. Commissioner Roger Goodell suspended Saints head coach Sean Payton without pay next year for failing to stop the program and denying it existed. The team's former defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, believed to be the architect of the pay-to-injure scheme, was banned indefinitely. The report found as many as 27 Saints players were participating in the bounty program. So joining us now is Ben Reiter, who is with Sports Illustrated, to talk about all of this. Now, were you surprised at all by just the punishment that was handed down?
I was surprised. This is supposed to be a quiet time in the sports calendar. Baseball is in spring training. NBA hasn't yet reached the playoffs. We're midweek in the NCAA tournament. Here comes the shocking news out of the NFL office. I think people expected Commissioner Goodell to put the hammer down on the Saints for this bounty program, but he did more than that. He simply shattered this team and shattered their chances for what they've done. These suspensions are unheard of, really sending a message to not only the league, not only its players, but to the public at large.
So you think it's going to stop it for good?
Yes, I think that bounty programs probably won't continue after this, but I think it's really a larger problem. Football is inherently a violent sport, and to pretend that the only motivations for players to try to knock opposing quarterbacks out of games is maybe $1,000 is foolish. Players are paid millions and millions of dollars for their ability to do this. We could stop bounty programs, as I think has happened, but the NFL's violence issue is far deeper than that.
You said it's shattered the Saints season. There's a lot that they've got to make up for. I mean, give me some details. How bad is it going to be for the Saints?
It's going to be bad. Remember, 2 years ago, this team was America's sweethearts. They won the Super Bowl, obviously a great story of revitalization in New Orleans. Now they're without their coach for the entire season. They're without their general manager, Mickey Loomis, for half the season. And we might be at the tip of the iceberg. Roger Goodell suggested that many players, remember up to 27 players participated in this bounty scheme. He suggested that many players might similarly be sanctioned. We're going to have to wait to see what that might be. Saints should be a Super Bowl contender, but it's very hard to see them doing that after these penalties.
More to come on this. Okay, but in the meantime, we have learned that the Broncos have traded Tim Tebow, the quarterback there, to the New York Jets. What do you think about that? Are you surprised at all?
I'm surprised by this as well. I mean, talk about a big news day in the NFL. This trade was held up for a while during today. Apparently the Jets had misplaced their magnifying glasses, had not read Tebow's contract closely enough. There was some debate about who was paying him $5 million as part of his contract. Now he's coming to the Jets. It's kind of a curious move. They already have a quarterback signed up long-term, Mark Sanchez.
So how is he going to play on that team? I mean, how's that going to shake out?
I guess they're looking at Tebow as a change of pace. He's obviously a better backup quarterback than the Jets used to have with Mark Brunell. I think it's curious. I think that the obvious destination for him would have been the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a University of Florida product. That team really needed a star, really needed to create some buzz.
Right.
The Jaguars didn't get it done. The Jets did. Now last season's phenom, Tim Tebow, is coming to New York.
Yeah, and do you think they're going to groom him perhaps to be the main quarterback?
I don't think so. I think that the conception around the league is that Tim Tebow can never be a full-time starting quarterback. He completes about 8 out of 20 passes. Yes, he has other talents. He has toughness. He has leadership. I really think they're looking at him as a change of pace for Mark Sanchez. If the Broncos didn't want him anymore, even after he led them to the Super Bowl, it's kind of curious as to why the Jets wanted him. Of course, the Broncos have brought on Peyton Manning, but here he is. Arguably the NFL's biggest star, all of a sudden, is now on the NFL's biggest stage.
All right, Ben Reiter, we thank you for that insight. Very interesting stuff today in the world of sports.